Officially started here, and we already have some comments. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have got the UK and Cleveland, Ohio here. So, and 4 people from Brattleboro.
Yay, live,
got an audience
live
right there.
people.
Tonight you're going to
hear
hear
it for live human beings.
no, so there are people all over Scout. We're gonna be doing all sorts of sound adjustments, but so everyone must know Andy Davis, who's in the neighborhood.
Famous
you out there
throughout this
know.
neighborhood.
We're both internationally not quite known, but in Brattleboro we're sort of known.
But we are one step ahead of the authorities, so.
Oh, and Deborah's in Kentucky. Hi, Deborah. So those of you out there in Facebook land, tell me if I need to adjust any sound stuff. Like if you can't hear our voices, sometimes there's some weird stuff.
That could be a future occupation, Peter. People log in and be a sound person, a Facebook sound person.
They could like log in and be a Facebook backseat driver.
You could do it on the beach in Hawaii, just kind
of. So we're gonna play a whole bunch of fiddle tunes and some original songs and stuff like that, and I guess theoretically almost everything is local if you count the Quebec local.
Yeah, it's all regional. We play regional music. It's all from within a few hundred miles of here. A few things outside of the Northeast, but it's very Northeast-based, cold weather-based music. Music to stay warm by, even in the summer. So it's sort of close to dinner time, so we're going to start off with the little burnt potato, which might be on some of your menus for this evening.
Which you're going to eat in an old rocking chair, which is the second tune.
And after the old rocking chair, we're going to go into a tune written by our great friend, David Kaner of Montague, Massachusetts, a tune he called Richard's Jig, in honor of a very wonderful musician friend of ours from many years ago, Richard Blase. So, the little burnt potato. Are we ready?
We are ready. Hold on a second. I'm going to shut one thing off here. All right. Yay. Nothing like dorky New England jigs on a New England evening.
Except we don't feel them as dorky, just everyone else in the world does.
Except there's a fine line between a dorky New England jig and a 12-bar blues. You know, it's the same exact rhythm, actually. So...
just two different dialects.
It meets on the other end.
So what do we got next, Peter?
Let's see that song, that old song.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is a very old song because, as we know, anyone who studies American history, that the good old days is a bit of a myth. Times have always been hard. And this is a song, you hear a lot of complaining about how difficult times are these days. Are they challenging? Are they troubling? Are they interesting? Choose your adjective. So this is a song simply called Hard Times.
Not the Stephen Foster one, though.
Yeah, this one is just called Hard Times. Actually, I learned it from a wonderful guy from over New York State, a great hammer dulcimer player by the name of Bill Spence.
Bill Spence. We lost him this year.
Times are getting hard. Times are getting hard, boys. Money's getting scarce. Times don't get much better, boys. Gonna leave this place. Take my true love by the hand. Walk on through the town. Say goodbye to everyone. Goodbye to everyone. Take the Bible from the bed, the banjo from the wall. Take old Sal and hitch her up, the wagon for the hall. Pile the chairs and books so high, let nothing touch the ground. Sal can pull and we can push, we're bound to leave this town. Times are getting hard, boys. Money's getting scarce. If times don't get much better, boys, I'm gonna leave this place. Take my true love by the hand, walk on through the town. Say goodbye to everyone, goodbye to everyone. We made a crop a year ago, it withered to the ground. Tried to get some credit, but the banker turned us down. We're going to California, where everything is green. Gonna have the best old farm that you have ever seen. Sing it now. Times are getting hard, boys. Money's getting scarce. If times don't get much better, boys, I'm gonna leave this place. Take my true love by the hand, walk on through the town. Say goodbye to everyone, goodbye to everyone. And every wind that blows, every wind that blows, carries us to some new place, heaven only knows. Take my true love by the hand, walk on through the town. Say goodbye to everyone, goodbye to everyone. There's kind of a whole genre of American folk song which could be in the category of taking the geographic cure. If we go somewhere else, it'll be better. And it's not always better when you get there.
So it was a singing square was just suggested, Andy.
Oh, a singing square?
Yeah, but we can't really, it have to be a very distant square. The square would have to be about 150 feet from one side to the other. We did an analysis of what would happen to dancing. Do-si-dos wouldn't take 8 counts anymore. At a 6-foot distance, it gets up closer to 32 beats to do a do-si-do. So it kind of changes all the choreography around. It sure does.
We could do a little bit. We could do a verse of a singing square at some point.
Yeah.
But what do we got on the next on the schedule?
We're going to do some more New England tunes. Oh, for those of you who are in the neighborhood, so those of you in Cyberland, there actually is an audience here from our neighborhood. It was a secret concert that only people in our neighborhood can know about. And you can't come. You're not allowed next time. Sorry. But the neighborhood can come. But for those of you in the neighborhood, I do this every week. It's called Live from Brattleboro, and I always have a different Brattleboro musician playing with me here either on the porch or whatever, and this is the first time we've invited people. So if the weather is good, it's an awful lot for me to set up. We got a whole real sound system and a whole thing going to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So it's just 3.5 hours of setup, but it's worth it if you guys really appreciate it. So I want to make sure the camera is still getting you in there, Andy. Let's see. Yes, it is. Okay.
Oh my God, I'm still on camera.
You're still on camera.
And I was so relaxed until you reminded me.
And Andy spent about an hour doing his makeup before this too. So,
all right.
So we're gonna do good old New England tunes. Woo!
All right. So let's just hit them.
Wait, what is the first one?
Dominion.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, this is so much fun.
I think we missed a couple notes in there.
Yeah, they're going to cut our
There were
pay,
a
I
couple
think.
missing notes. I hope you didn't notice.
Well, oh, good. I think the sound is actually okay in Cyberland.
Hmm.
I think it is. No one's complained today.
Oh my goodness, we got a good one coming up. Not like all the others.
Not like all the others. This is a song I wrote when I lived over in Green. Actually, you just talked about the fact that you were just over in Green River, right? Or you something about Green River.
My family is in Green River right now instead of here.
So this song is actually about Green River. Well, it's actually about. I was wrote the song when I lived on the Green River in Guilford many years ago. And let me turn off the ding on my phone. Oh, Betsy just texted me, which means she might be telling me something about. Oh, good. She texted me to say the sound is great. That's so good.
Wow. And she lives in Oregon, so
She
it's
lives in
got to be
Portland.
good.
Yes. All right. So this is a song that if there's one chorus that you're going to go home with in your head, this is it. Going to the place where the fishing is good and the water runs free. I don't know the first thing about fishing, but we'll swim together, you and me. So we grab our summer gear and we head to the swimming hole. A reel or two, they ain't got no fishing pole, but you got your polka dot bathing suit. Polka dot bathing suit. Polka dot bathing suit. With or without it, you look so cute. In the early summer when the days are long, we're not used to the heat. When the river is high and the water is cold and tadpoles tickle our feet. Lose ourselves to the sound of the water and forget about our blues. Take a ride off the road down the steep path and throw off our socks and shoes. And your polka dot bathing suit. Polka dot bathing suit. Polka dot bathing suit. With or without it, you look so cute. Life is good when all you think about is coffee when you wake up. What to grill when you're grilling. Hang around, play a little bocce ball and sip on a drink that's been chillin'. The afternoon, the evening, or early in the morning, you throw off your polka dot suit and you swim in the suit that you were born in. Without your polka dot bathing suit. Polka dot bathing suit. Polka dot bathing suit. Polka dot bathing suit. I like Andy's bass in that. Usually I sing with some falsetto or female voice, but I like the Motown bass going on there.
So hard enough to get the words without trying to remember more than that.
So Andy just retired, 2 years ago, retired from being a music teacher here in Brattleboro, and I'm a music teacher in Keene, and I was using Andy's resources for teaching long before I knew Andy, which is really lovely to be in the same neighborhood as.
And I have so much compassion for Peter because he's still at it, even in these crazy times. So how about a hand for all the music educators all around the globe? It's not an easy time. It never was an easy time, but still the greatest job on earth.
It's the greatest job on earth.
What's next on the list?
Tunes from Quebec.
Oh, yes, Quebec. So we're going to start off with a tune called Valley Field. That just sounds so pleasant. And then we're going to go into a tune called Lévis-Beaulieu. A lot of these tunes are named after some charming old guy that played them, or his grandmother or something. So this is a reel from Lévis-Beaulieu. And then the third tune is a more modern tune simply called Mattawa, which is a place in Quebec. And it was written by Richard Forrest, or Richard Forêt.
Whose daughter just married someone from Brattleboro.
Yes, everybody should marry somebody from Brattleboro if they can. All right.
D, right?
Without lower property taxes, Peter.
We'd have lower property taxes.
All right. So, Valley Field. How about a nice, relaxed tempo? Nice swingy tempo. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you for getting up and dancing. That's what this music, and all of us dance musicians are really missing live contra and square dancing. There is some online stuff happening, but it's people dancing with their family members in their kitchens while somebody miles away broadcasts.
I saw you doing that. I'm pointing at the camera, you guys. But there's you guys, and then there's... and just so everyone in internet land knows there's a link if you want to tip our musicians over there. So
Tip?
tip. Yes. Seeing as how...
All right, well, this next song, I started writing this song back in 2017, and I heard this expression that was getting into the lexicon of some reference to back when America was great again, which got stuck in my craw. That's the polite way of saying what I was going through. And I started just pondering American history and wondering, well, what was this back when? Was it 1820? Was it 1742? Was it 1910? And I kept checking the history books, and there was no big mythical back when America was great. It's been a struggle. It's been a process. It's been a lot of pain. So that phrase got stuck in my head, and when you're a musician, sometimes a phrase gets stuck in your head and starts becoming a song. So this is called Back When America Was Great Again. Wrap your head around that for a moment. Okay. All right, here we go. I put this online on the 4th of July. I just did a screenshot from the Declaration of Independence and just put up the following words. We hold these truths to be self-evident. And that's all that was on the screen while I sang this song. All right. Are we ready, Peter?
We are ready.
All right. Here we go. 3, 4. The Lord endowed us with our rights, but God, it's been an endless fight. Who is equal? Who is free? Who decides our liberty? Many battles have been won, but think of struggles left undone. And though these happened long ago, it's always right that we should know who were they and when was that? Back when America was great again. The trail of tears should break your heart. The Cherokee Nation torn apart. Thousands died along the way. Where they're buried, none can say. The court told Jackson he was wrong to drive them from where they belong. And though this happened in the past, it's always right that we should ask, who were they and when was that? Back when America was great again. The signs in 1845 said no Irish need apply, but still they came and worked and died, so others on the trains could ride. And no one cared about their health as long as others built their wealth. And though this happened in the past, it's always right that we should ask, who were they and when was that? Back when America was great again. A black man stood by his front door, had never seen such hate before. The racist mob that took his life scarred his family's soul for life. And though his courage filled the air, no one built a statue there. And though this happened in the past, it's always right that we should ask, Who were they, and when was that? Back when America was great again. The poison leaked through rusted tanks, down the brook to the river's banks. The birds, the fish, the insects died. The well-paid company lawyers lied. The judge, it was a crime, it was a shame. The judge said no one was to blame. And though this happened in the past, it's always right that we should ask, who were they, and when was that? Back when America was great again. The Lord endowed us with our rights, but God, it's been an endless fight. Who is equal? Who is free? Who decides our liberty? Many battles have been won, but think of struggles left undone. And though these happened long ago, it's always right that we should know, who were they, and when was that? Back when America was great again.
Back when America was great.
Back when America was great again.
That is... I don't like to say things about songs before they're sung because you have to reserve... I don't want to say, this is the best song ever, because then, you could be let down. But I'm waiting for this moment to say, isn't that a great song?
It would be better if it wasn't so depressing, Peter.
I know. It sure would.
It's just meant as a reminder. A friendly reminder.
So we have to resort to the optimism of Pete Seeger here.
He had his tough songs. Remember, Waist Deep and the Big Muddy and the Big Fool said to push on. He knew how to do angry. He did, Pete Seeger.
But he knows how to be cynical, loving, funny, all at the same time. He really knew that.
This is a song they say he wrote. He was on his way to a memorial service and he couldn't think of the right song to sing for this departed soul. So he made up this song on the way. And it's called To My Old Brown Earth. And we're going to follow it with one of his just gorgeously optimistic tunes from his early part of his career called Livin' in the Country.
And up until a few months ago, I couldn't sing this song without crying. So, because it just brings back the memories of Pete that I had growing up. To my old brown earth, and to my old blue sky, I now give these last few molecules of I. And you who sing, and you who stand nearby, I do charge thee not to cry. Guard well our human chain, watch well, you keep it strong, as long as sun will shine. And this our home, keep pure and sweet and green, for now I'm yours, and you are also mine. I think I did actually feel a tear there as I was singing it.
I was practicing that by going on YouTube and playing along with Pete Seeger, but he was in the key of C sharp major, which made my practicing a nice challenge. He loved capos because capos could put you anywhere in any key very quickly.
That's true. And he had that drop D guitar that actually, when it was open, it was in the key of F sharp or something like that. So the lowest note ever on a guitar.
Most people use capos to go up. Pete Seeger used capos to go down.
Yes, he did. He wanted a full symphony as a guitar. And my parents, and actually I know him pretty well as friends with the person who built one of his last guitars and banjos, because he met him at a concert. Bruce met him at a concert, and I don't know the exact story, but he was just getting into the hobby of building guitars, and he walked up to Pete and said, "Oh, I really would love to try something out for you." And Pete said, "Well, sure," and Pete kind of took him under his wing, and for the rest of his career, I think the last 25, 30 years of his career, he played Bruce's guitars, and I think one of his banjos too.
Well, this next song is inspired by another inspiring person, Albert Einstein. And I got this song from a bluegrass band, which makes all the sense in the world. And it was composed by a man named Henry Jankowitz. So America is a great country, I guess. A song about Einstein from a bluegrass band composer by the name of Henry Jankowitz. It's simply called Einstein Was a Genius. You all look like intelligent people, and you will probably get all of the relativity jokes in this song. But when I used to teach this to fourth graders, it took a lot longer to explain the humor than it did to teach the song. But the kids enjoyed the song because they got to sing, "Albert, dance around. Albert, be profound. Albert, let your hair stick out. Your socks hang down." He was not known for taking care of his appearance. And you can find many wonderful selfie-facing photos on the internet of Albert Einstein with his uncombed hair and his tongue hanging out. He had quite a personal sense of humor and a love of life. And he played the fiddle, too. He did play the violin, so that gets mentioned as well. So here we go. Are we ready?
I am ready.
And we're weaving in a little folk song in the middle, a little dance tune called Road to California for no known reason. Okay.
Because we got to add that extra culture to it, of course.
Here we go. Einstein was a genius, not like you and me. Wrote one equation every day. On Sundays he wrote three. On Sundays he wrote three. Albert, dance around. Albert, be profound. Albert, let your hair stick out. Your socks hang down. A girl looked through a telescope until her eyes were red. She looked through outer space and saw the back of her own head. The back of her own head. Albert, dance around. Albert, be profound. Albert, let your hair stick out. Your socks hang down. A man got in a spaceship and flew 100 miles. He busted through the speed of light. He came back a child. Yes, he came back a child. Albert, dance around. Albert, be profound. Albert, let your hair stick out. Your socks hang down. I had a frame of reference, I set it on the fence. Along came relativity, ain't seen the damn thing since. Ain't seen the damn thing since. Albert, dance around. Albert, be profound. Albert, let your hair stick out. Your socks hang down. A wave and a particle were walking side by side. One turned to the other, said, "Which one of us am I? Which one of us am I?" Albert, dance around. Albert, be profound. Albert, let your hair stick out. Your socks hang down. Now Einstein played the fiddle, he loved to dance and sing. And man, if that ain't genius, that ain't anything. No, that ain't anything. Albert, dance around. Albert, be profound. Albert, let your hair stick out, your socks hang down. Thank you.
This is so fun. So I see there's some new people that of whom I all know, because it's Brattleboro. But I just want to say again, I do this every week at 6 p.m. Not always live from my porch for people to listen to, but this happens every week either on Facebook and YouTube, on my YouTube channel and Facebook channel. So, and the reason I started doing this, I was doing this stuff by myself for a few weeks before. Right after this whole thing began back in March, because I wanted a weekly thing to do. But then I realized, man, there are so many great musicians in Brattleboro, and we could socially distance and do a little concert online. And so for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've been bringing in a whole bunch of people to do it with me, and it's called Live from Brattleboro. Even as a Facebook page, you can go right there and all that stuff. And next week, actually, I just confirmed that Lissa Schneckenberger is going to be playing with me next week, and she's a fiddler who lives here in town who's phenomenal. And the thing about Brattleboro is we have all these nationally touring musicians, but you don't often get to hear them in Brattleboro because they're usually touring, but because they're not touring, they're all here. So that's why we're doing this. We got this resource that we never get to really take advantage of here in Brattleboro.
I think this edition this week, Peter, could be called Live from Swedeville. This is the Swedeville edition of Live from Brattleboro.
I think we have some out-of-towners here from one neighboring neighborhood or two. Oh, I don't know. They let you through the border up there on Western Avenue. Across the congressional district. Which is only a quarter mile down the road, right?
They have to divide us up, because if we were all in the same district, they would have problems.
Oh. So I'm going to sing a song that I wrote a few weeks back. It's a song that I wrote. I've been playing a lot of fiddle. I'm not really a fiddler, but I decided to start playing fiddle, and so I wrote a song that went with the fiddle, and it's a song, it came out right after all the profound things that we already knew about race in our country was starting to rear their head a month ago or so. So I kind of wrote this song in the spirit of... not in the spirit of, but in the style of Stephen Foster. This is the next chapter of Back When America Was Great Again. This is the more optimistic, what we need to do. It's the same old story, the same old tired frame, same old tired characters with the same old tired ways. There's a trigger and reaction with the same old tired frame. The talking may be different, but the walking is just the same. Through the struggle and the fight, a new chapter we will write. same role in the same old tired plot. There ain't no good and evil, just a lesson that is taught. And we don't do the teaching, every person will atone. No one will do the preaching, each will learn it on their own. Through the struggle and the fight, a new chapter we will write. There are actors doing bad deeds, and there are actors doing right. Some are stuck in the darkness, some who see the light. There can always be redemption, forgiveness and tears, but no new chapter will be written until we shed our deepest fears. It's the same old story, but it's time we move along. Admit that we have got to roll, sing a different song. We can keep on talking, but open up our ears. Look into each other's eyes, 'cause we'll be doing this for years. Struggle and the fight, a new chapter we will write when we unite. Thank you.
That was the best rehearsal we ever had on that song.
Oh my gosh. So, yes, and the next one is going to be a rehearsal for the first time, or one of the first times I'm ever playing fiddle in public.
Oh yeah, get that fiddle out.
I'm doing it only because I'm hoping that David is watching this. David Kaner is watching this, and if he's not, maybe he'll watch it later. David has been a mentor to me. I think even a mentor to Andy in so many ways. David's his fiddler who lives down in Montague, Massachusetts, and actually, this is a really good time to mention something to people who are out in cyber world, and actually to everyone here too, is that Andy and I all week this week are going to be doing something called Dance Musicians Week. We were supposed to be in North Carolina this week teaching at the John C. Campbell Folk School, and that week obviously is not going to be happening. We teach people how to play dance music, and that week was started by David Kaner decades and decades ago. I've been doing it for about 20 years. Andy joined in last year, and we decided we still wanted to have it even though we weren't going to be there, so we put together a whole week of morning little concerts at 9 a.m., which will be the same stream, Facebook and YouTube. And then we're going to have a workshop every day, starting at 12:30, 9:30 on the West Coast. And that's something, if you wanted to find out about that, you can actually contact me after this, and I can give you the link and all that. The information is on Facebook and all that. So here's the fiddle. Oh, my God.
While Peter gets out the fiddle and tunes it up, I'll just mention these are called walking tunes. Or gonglot. They're tunes for processing, but we're not going to get off the porch here because we would trip over all this equipment. But feel free to march up and down the road, Peter's driveway, if you would like to get the feeling of it. They're used for wedding processionals, anytime you have a ceremony where you need to get from point A to point B. They have these Swedish tunes that are, you know, they're kind of like the musician's version of an e-bike. It just makes the trip a lot easier to have this beautiful tune that just carries a whole group of people. And David Kaner is very famous for having led the processional every year in Montague, Massachusetts on May Day. And there's some wonderful films you can even find on YouTube of the processional at Montague May Day. And David inspired us over the years. So these are two that he introduced to many of us. And we hope you enjoy them. And feel free to go for a walk while we're playing. Ready?
Oh. I think so. I am not a fiddler.
He wants the public to know that. 3, 4.
Playing fiddle is really fun. More fun for me than it is for you to listen to, probably. We're gonna play some fast, good old Irish tunes.
All right.
So we got about 3 more things left. We're going over what we usually do, but I hope you don't mind. We're gonna do probably another 10 minutes or so, and Facebook isn't gonna cut us off. People out there are listening. So, let's see here.
We're going to play Father Kelly's Into Ships Are Sailing and finish up with the old Mason's Apron. Some people say all fiddle tunes sound alike, but don't ever say that to a fiddler or an accordion player. Each one is like its own little world. All right. Father Kelly.
All right. right.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Thank you.
So I'm going to sing a song that I wrote about staying home.
What an interesting topic.
An interesting topic. But it's not a new song. It's a song about loving staying home when you travel. Then we're going to do a last waltz.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to do our closing song, which is the same every time. You'll see. You may go upon your journey, you may travel far and wide, you may see the Taj Mahal, doesn't mean you looked inside. Close your eyes, what do you see? Open them wide and look at me. I've seen travelers with fear, it takes courage to stay right here. I got nothing against adventure, nothing against filling your mind. There are things you can't get here, that far away you can't find. never left their place of birth. And I've seen the seasoned traveler who was the biggest fool on earth. Close your eyes, what do you see? Open them wide and look at me. I've seen travelers with fear. It takes courage to stay right here. Stay and watch the flowers bloom. Feel sweltering heat. Watch the maple leaves change and fall. Walk upon them with your feet. Smell the snow before it comes. Watch it melt away. Feeling life sensation happens in this way. Close your eyes. What do you see? Open them wide and look at me. I've seen travelers with fear. It takes courage to stay right here.
3, 4.
We are hunters, we are gatherers. We roam to find our feast. As our mighty instinct fades, our passions decrease. We may choose why we travel with heart and soul and head. Or plant your roots and bloom your buds and stay at home instead. Close your eyes, what do you see? Open them wide and look at me. I've seen travelers with fear. It takes courage to stay right here. Bravo to Andy, who went over this tune one time and was just following my hands the whole time, figuring out
Never
what to do.
take your eyes off Peter.
So we're going to do a waltz that, and I think Andy mentioned that this is a waltz that David loves to play.
Yeah, this is called Valse pour Pole. I'm probably saying it wrong. It's from Europe somewhere, but it just has a lovely, wistful quality for the time. And feel free to get up and waltz. My daughter over here is a very good waltzer, Emma.
Waltzing is one of those things you actually can do with a partner. You could stand facing a partner 6 feet apart and just go back and forth, right?
When Emma was little, I would waltz with her, and she would just kind of move, and then over the years, it was like a photograph. Remember when photographs were developed in a tank of and all of a sudden, Emma was like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It just kind of appeared like out of just by being with her for the years, and she's a great waltzer. So, Valse pour Pole.
All right, well, we're going to have a last song. This is a song that we also didn't practice. No, we did. We practiced for like 5 minutes.
It uses the circle of fifths. So
For those of you who know what that is.
it's one of the great engines of music. And it's in many songs, and when you first hear it and learn about it, it's like a key to the kingdom.
So I wrote this song back in March because I figured there has to be something good that comes out of this experience that we're all having right now. You know, there's lots of things, lots of bad things that are happening and going to happen and will happen, but there are things going on that this is good. This would not have happened.
Well, before we do this last song, I think I'd like to thank you, Peter, for initiating this. You're my neighbor, you're my fellow musician, fellow music teacher, and just a great entrepreneur of getting culture to keep moving even in these times. So thank you for taking the initiative on this.
It has been a real pleasure. And the real pleasure is the fact that I get to just jam with people that I don't often get to play with, who live 3 blocks away. Some good's gotta come out of this. I'm gonna sing it way out loud. Some better times better lay ahead. I'm gonna paint a silver lining round that cloud. Could finally be the catalyst to turn a stranger into a friend. Could be the shot heard around the world that prevents the world's fiery end. Oh, maybe it's a sign that we all reflect about how family time's been lacking. Could be the straw to break the camel's back. Get the big fat orange man packing. Oh, some good's gotta come out of this. I'm gonna sing it till my vocal cords burn. Some better times better lay ahead. Maybe now we'll give a little sanity a turn. I don't believe in old-fashioned superstition or some great almighty decree. Sometimes feeling a little hardship is good for you and me. Oh, look at the musicians making the most of it all, singing songs in their underwear. They may have no gigs and they can't feed their kids, but the audiences are still out there. Oh, take it. Some good's gotta come out of this. I'm gonna sing it loud and clear. Some better times better lay ahead. I'm gonna shift into a slower gear. Maybe we'll open up our eyes real wide. Notice the haves and the have-nots. We're gonna slow down, look around, and take stock in what we got. Less air pollution, more time with the kids, fewer elevator farts. Time for reflection, time for redemption, fewer moving parts. Take it again, Andy-O! Sing it one more time, here we go! Some good's gotta come out of this. I'm gonna sing it way out loud. Some better times better lay ahead. I'm gonna paint a silver lining around that cloud. Thank you all, everyone. Thank you, everyone out there in Cyberland. And if we do this again in the neighborhood, which could be next week, who knows if the weather's right, and I feel like setting up all this gear, it could happen again, so stay tuned. And I'll say hello to all you out there, but I got to turn you guys off.
Thank you and good night.